Hello, I'm Guowei in Beijing. You're watching Lifestyles on CNC World. This week, the United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF, has been marking this year's Universal Children's Day with a series of events around the world. On Monday, children took control of UN headquarters for one day only to give their stories and call for a better future. Vibrant, energetic, and always forward-looking. More than 150 children took over the United Nations and filled it with a young vibe on World Children's Day. Joining them was Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General, and Anthony Lake, Executive Director of UNICEF.
Dear young people, the future of our planet, the future peace of our world is in your hands. Millions of boys and girls like you are still in danger. And we are letting them down as adults.
Morning, everyone.
After their speeches, two children took over to host the event. Isabella Moner and Jade Michael, two child actors, introduced children from around the world, highlighting issues they are facing today. Emmanuel Alicia Ford, a 15-year-old Guyanese-American activist, brought attention to the challenges some children face.
There are 93 million children with disabilities around the world, and our challenges vary from person to place to circumstance to disability. And in many places, there are no services, wheelchairs, or assistive devices to help children with disabilities, or because these are too expensive. Ladies and gentlemen, on this 2017 World Children's Day, I call for your action to change this uneven playing field. All children with disabilities should be treated fairly.
Graciela is a 16-year-old girl from Central African Republic. Her mother died when she was a baby. 3 years ago, her father was killed when the anti-Balaka rebel group attacked her town. While fleeing, she was captured and forced to join them. For 2 years, she was kept, forced to cook, abused, and taught to fight. She says she had no education, no hope. But now she's starting her new life. She's living with her grandfather in Bangui. She's back at school and helping other vulnerable children with their trauma.
I want to help them because I know what it's like to be alone, to be hurt, and to lose my childhood.
Letitha Bailey is 14 years old, coming from Johannesburg, South Africa. She is an advocate against child labor, poverty, lack of education, and gender inequality. As part of Children to Take Over United Nations, Letitha spoke to reporters at the UN's Daily Noon briefing.
The world is failing to fully deliver on behalf of the world's children, and we are speaking up on behalf of ourselves and of our fellow peers to make the case of why the world should do more.
She also talked about the children's role in helping world leaders to do a better job.
Children are very important in a world that is so hopeless, to just bring the positivity and bring out the good that is in world leaders.
According to the UN, despite global progress, 1 in 12 children around the world live in countries where their prospects today are worse than those of their parents. 180 million children today are more likely to live in extreme poverty, but out of school or meet a violent death than children living 20 years ago.
The future of the world is in your hands. But we can never forget that the children's future are in our hands. There is no greater responsibility, no more important job, and no better pathway to a better, healthier, more peaceful world for every person, every family, every child.
Since its start in 1954, Universal Children's Day has been used by the UN and nations around the world to shine a light on issues affecting young people. Greece has been hit by two major crises in recent years, a crippled economy and a massive influx of refugees. Helping the Greek state manage are a number of NGOs like UNICEF, who are providing support for the country's children. Let's take a look at their work. Greece's National Committee of UNICEF was established in 1977. Since then, it has provided life-changing support to millions of children. But according to its president today, more needs to be done.
Basic rights today are not for granted, even for kids born here, such as the right to life, the right to food, to education, the right of access to healthcare, and so on.
According to the latest report, 55% of children in Greece are living on the threshold of poverty. As well as the local population, Greece is also looking to support 20,000 refugee and migrant children left stranded in Greece since the borders closed. Among them are about 2,300 unaccompanied children living in shelters and special safe zones inside camps. These minors are a priority group for UNICEF Greece.
Every day we must remind people that these rights are there and we are obliged. It is our legal and ethical duty to protect and promote them.
In the past 2 years, UNICEF Greece has collaborated with the Health Ministry to provide vaccines for 62,000 refugee and migrant children who reached Greece. In education, the group also provides materials to thousands of children in need, Greek and refugee alike, helping them to attend school. The NGO also puts emphasis on culture, organizing visits to museums, educational games and playgrounds, running libraries, and providing psychological support. The aim is to give migrant children enough rounded skills so that they can thrive beyond the camp. But like many situations, money is tight.
Due to the crisis, what we are facing as a national committee is of course a decline in our funds, but not a decline in people's willingness to help. Greek society support regarding the refugee crisis has been enormous, not only in actions run by UNICEF staff, but also in programs where we ask for volunteers.
Merzini Zorba, a former member of the European Parliament, always believed in the power of volunteerism.
We have to keep in mind that as citizens we need to demand from the state and institutions to make policies with tangible results, because each day passing by that a draft bill is not voted, or a program is lagging, or a court is not announcing a verdict, can be crucial, sometimes of fatal consequences for the life of a child.
The children may not have had the best start in life, but through the hard work on the ground by UNICEF and the like, their future is looking a little brighter. It's the headache for working parents around the world how to find childcare in the holidays. Not so in Finland. Almost every neighborhood in Helsinki has a free public play park. Not only do the parks have indoor and outdoor activities, but they also offer free lunches during the summer holidays. Lifestyles went to see them in action. Vili is an 8-year-old Finnish boy living in Helsinki. His parents are both wage earners, but they have rarely been worried about their son's after-class life, especially during the summer holiday. In the summer this year, Vili spent his holidays in different places, including football camp, cruise ship, and in a nearby play park.
Once he was smaller, we spent here only 1 hour, but now like 2 hours. Yeah.
Free lunches have been offered to children under 16 during summer holidays since 1942, which has become a problem solver for the working couples. During the holidays, the website of the Helsinki municipality will publish a menu as well as ingredients and nutrition facts every week. During the last summer, Play Park Viakari organized a variety of themed events.
There was always a theme, and the theme was 1 week. And our day camps this June where we had for 1 week every day we traveled with the kids to the highest places in Helsinki. We went to the highest hotel of Helsinki, we went to the highest fire station, we climbed to the highest mountain, so that kind of. Then we have had this traffic week where we traveled with different traffic.
On school days, the play parks serve as for kids to let off some steam while waiting for their parents to finish work.
Because parents come from work, they can come at 5, so the day would be really long to spend alone or somewhere outside. So play parks are very important.
Especially for the moms, because they are like quite a long time back home. So it's nice to meet some moms and chat with them about the same problems they have with the kids and stuff like that.
You know, if you are somewhere in the park there on your own for a long time, it's not so much fun. Even though it's kind of always nice with the kid, but at some point you kind of maybe could talk to someone adult.
There are some 70 public play parks in Helsinki, all financially supported by the local government. Public play parks have a long place in Finnish history. In 1915, Finland began to build simply equipped small parks for children in order to encourage them to do outdoor activities. In the 100 years since, the play parks have been constantly enlarged, renovated, and improved, giving joy to generations after generations. Universal Children's Day is a day to remember and celebrate the lives of children. However, in some countries such as war-torn Afghanistan, some children will feel like there isn't a whole lot to be thankful for. Lifestyles has their story.
After decades of fighting and more than 100,000 dead, thousands of Afghans remain alive but locked in poverty. Many have been displaced from their native residences and scrabble around for an existence. Families often have to send their children to sift through rubbish for anything saleable, such as plastic or dry bread. The new pennies help to keep the family going.
We have nothing to eat, no flour, no rice, and no cooking oil. No one has so far cooperated with us. I go to the market, collect plastics, throw out onions and potatoes, and bring home to cook and eat.
Muzamel is one of 13 children. His father says it's hard to provide for them all.
We have 15 family members, including 30 children. I'm a handcart vendor and can only earn 150 to 200 Afghanis a day, the lowest income to support such a big family.
Education is often seen as a route out of poverty. But even this is difficult in a land where conservative attitudes persist. Ali says he's taken his daughters out of education after they were targeted on the street.
My 6 underage children go to school, but I don't allow my 3 eldest daughters to continue their education, following some dishonoring incidents while on the way between home and school. While I am a poor man, have no car to take them to school and bring them back home.
According to the International Monetary Fund, per person Afghanistan was the 12th poorest country in the world last year. In early November, UNICEF said as many as 9,500 children are dying of diarrhea-related diseases across Afghanistan.
For children in Bangladesh's slums, empty stomachs doesn't just mean hungry tummies. It can result in stunted growth and learning problems. Lifestyles finds out more.
14-year-old Lamia looks younger than her actual age. According to her mother, life in a Bangladesh slum has limited both Lamia's physical and intellectual growth. With 5 children, Begum says she and her day labourer husband struggle to feed the whole family.
I have 5 daughters. Among my daughters, Lamia is worse a victim of malnutrition. Everybody advised me to take her to a doctor, but we can't afford at all to go for her proper treatment.
Lamia is still reliant upon her sisters and parents for some tasks.
I want to become a doctor.
Like Lamia, many children of Bangladesh have been suffering from malnutrition. Most migrated here to Bangladesh's capital of Dhaka from rural villages in search of a better life. However, many now live in unhealthy and inhuman conditions, squashed into slums that lack basic services. Many children are forced to take care of their younger siblings or go out to work instead of going to school. To address this problem, UNICEF Bangladesh has been working with the Bangladeshi government.
Overall nutrition situation in Bangladesh has been improving, but rate of reduction is not satisfactory yet. We have to go actually like long way to have a satisfactory situation in Bangladesh on nutrition.
UNICEF also works with NGOs to run schools and inspire parents to send children to school instead of out to work.
So according to 2013 survey conducted for urban, so half of the under 5 children were stunted. But according to another survey conducted in 2016 on urban, so we see that 40% of stunted children. So it seems that 10 percentage points of reduction. But if I look at the absolute number has increased from 1.5 million to 2 million. So this is very, very alarming. So I'm talking about the urban slum dwellers actually, because they live in a very, very poor condition, hygienic way, environmental way. So they have been suffering from numbers of underlying causes.
Manira Parveen said another reason for malnutrition is a lack of hand-washing practice.
Half of the households, according to 2016 Child Wellbeing Survey, half of the households in slum, they do not have proper hand-washing place or reagent. So these are the factors also causes, reasons for high rates of undernutrition among urban slum dwellers. 2/3 of the children within 6 months to 24 months are not fed with the recommended complementary food.
After support from around the world, the United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF, is helping children in Lebanon go to school.
Despite its small size, Lebanon is home to one of the world's biggest refugee populations. Around a quarter of all people living here are refugees or asylum seekers, escaping conflicts in the region. More than 1 million refugees are from Syria alone. The influx has stressed Lebanon's public services. UNICEF has stepped in to help.
We usually take care of children from 5 to 12 years of age, and there is a large number of children who were born here in Lebanon, and the rest came here as refugees. We lecture those children on health care and do it as an activity.
Support for the work has come from all around the world. Last year, Chinese-funded educational supplies helped around 86,000 Syrian refugee students. The donation was made through Lebanon's Reach All Children with Education campaign, an ongoing collaborative effort between the Lebanese Ministry of Education and the United Nations.
I have 12 children. They go to school and the United Nations help them. I'm improving teaching to my children so they can have a future.
The Bar Elia Secondary School in Lebanon's Bekaa region is among the schools being supported by UNICEF.
If such schools do not exist, those children coming from refugee camps will be left in streets, and they are very poor, and their families cannot enroll them in ordinary schools. So these kinds of schools and programs are protecting the children from illiteracy and are giving them the chance to learn.
Hedin Heldorsen is a communication specialist at the UNICEF's Lebanon country office. While he welcomes the free schooling, he says the children are often in need of other more basic services.
But even though the education is free, that is often not enough to attract children to the schools, because there can be so many issues hindering them in coming here. A family needs to have food on the table, and if a way of ensuring that has been to make the children work, that will stop them from getting an education.
While there may be many challenges on the ground, the work is delivering results. While the books and schooling help, probably the biggest change for these youth is hope, with students again to dream.
UNICEF is providing us with courses so we can be better in the future, and I want to become a doctor when I grow up to help those in need.
เริ่มทำข้อสอบได้ครับ
เราจะใช้เพลง4เพลงเป็นโค้ดแทนขอสอบวันและเวลาเดียวกันทั่วโลกแปลฝั่งเนี้ยจะได้สอบก่อนประเทศอีกฝั่งที่ก่อนและยังสามารถส่งคำตอบกลับมาให้พวกแกแล้วคนที่จะเข้าสอบในไทยล้านหนึ่ง
Hello everyone, this is Nicole as China Star News. Today we are going to interview Nadav Pompireya, who is a Thai director known for his thriller films Countdown and Bad Genius. This time, Pompireya visits Chicago's Asian pop-up cinema with his new film, The Bad Genius.
Hi,
Glad to
Nico.
have you here.
Thank you so much.
As we know, Bad Genius is based on a real-life story, which
Okay.
some students cheated in ICT exams, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
I'm curious that what's your personal standpoint on this social or to say ethical issue? Like, there's a line in the movie, quote unquote, everyone is born with unequal abilities. Do you really think that education could change one's life?
Yeah, that's what we should be believe in, right? I mean, like education or support to make our life better. But somehow, let's say in my culture, in my city, like after I doing a lot of research on this movie, and I think to myself that actually we still have a lot of problems that happen in our system. I mean, educational system, and yeah, I think somehow it's really hard for the young people, you know, to try to achieve like
Their goals.
the goals and try to impress like themselves and their parents. Yeah.
Okay. How did you choose and decide on the casting of the Bad Genius?
Okay.
Like, since there are some very intense scenes in the movie, how do you communicate with the actors? Like, did you push them a lot?
Actually, it's a really long process for the casting. We do a lot of casting for the young actor and actress. It takes like, I think it's like 2 months
Really?
to look for the right person. And when we decide on the main actor and actress, I have to give the credit to my acting coach because I have acting coach who communicate with the actors, and they work really hard and they work together a lot. So about all the character and things like that, and that's what appear on the screen. Yeah.
Like the actress has no acting experience before,
Yeah.
right? So how do you choose her?
I just believe in my instinct. Yeah, I mean, like at first, I have my eye on another like seasoning, like really like have an experiencing actor and actress. But then I met this girl. I met Okbab Shitimon, and when I look at her photo, I just thought to myself, wow, she really looked like Lin, like in my head. And I'm not sure about the acting yet, so I call her to come in and do the casting. And to tell you the truth, at first, her acting is not like as good as like another professional actress. But yeah, like I told you before, I have to believe in my instinct. So yeah, we have to work really hard.
Okay. So what's your consideration about the ending, which Lin confessed her crime, and is there like a warning, like you guys stop cheating anymore?
Actually, just my standpoint for this movie, because at the end, life is like one big exam. You know, you got a problem, and then you got your choice. So it's your job to pick one. It's your job to pick the choice that you think is right for you. So Lin, for example, she picked one choice, and Bang picked another one. So to me, I think there is no right or wrong. It's just that after you pick your own choice, you have to live with your consequence.
It's amazing that how you added the film while keeping the whole movie condensed and thrilling all the time. Does it relate to your previous experience in making commercials and music videos?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I think after my first film, right, and then I go back to work on a lot of music video and a lot of commercial. So yeah, I think it's helped a lot to. It helped me with the way we try, the way I can like tell the story. I can communicate the emotional and the idea to the audience. So yeah, I think I'm getting like a bit like better since my last film. So
and commercials are like very precise on time controlling, right?
yeah,
it helps you to tell a story in a given time.
yeah, you could say that, but I think lately the our commercial industry in Thailand is changed a bit. We're not doing like 45-second or 60-second commercial anymore. So it turned to be like, for example, it's like a short film and end with the product. But anyway, I know how to, like I told you before, I know how to control everything. So yeah, it's better.
Alright, so what's next? Is there any new movie project coming up?
Well, not for now. I mean, I'm too tired for making one movie, so I'm just gonna, take some time off.
Making movies is very time consuming, right?
Yes, right.
But if you are going to make new movies, are you going to keep focus on like social issues?
Well, I don't know for sure right now. I think like anything come up, and if it's very interesting me, anything that happen in the future, so yeah, I can do that. But right now I don't have an answer yet.
Okay,
yeah.
Just relax for some
Yeah,
time.
right.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bad Genius causes a sensation in Asian film market and breaks box office records of Thai movie in many countries. Sophia Wongbo-Chiu, the founder and executive director of Sophia's Choice, which is a charitable cultural organization that founded 3 years ago. The signature program is the Asian Pop-Up Cinema. 2 special curator series are being held each year in spring and fall. One night a week, every film gets its full attention. The film season cultivates an interest in and understandings of Asian cultures via a diverse offering of Asian films. The Asian Pop-Up Cinema is the only Asian film festival being held in the Grand Chicago area.
"云天无际，承载梦想。中国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第3，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。蓝天壮志情，云海谱华章。